Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, seal and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my chalk bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slab chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in a mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slab trucks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, rock climber, and the CEO of Slab Chalks.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to day 2 of the Ferox Ninja Park Premier Series qualifier. I am KCS alongside Jack Anderson. We are coming at you from Ferox in Brooklyn, New York, with one of the craziest competitions we've seen so far. We are about to kick off our amateur male division very soon, and we're about to see them take on some crazy courses set up by the one and only Zach Eichenstein, who is our course designer. He's the owner of Ferox. Ferox obviously has so many notable competitions, including last year's Premier Series finals. Zach has been the brain behind all of these competitions for the Premier Series, and he has delivered time and time again. It's no surprise. If you guys are interested in expanding the Ferox vision, franchising is available for anyone, so be sure to reach out to Zach if that's something that you're interested in. Now, Jack, coming out of the amateur female division and coming into the amateur male division, what are you expecting from our field today?
Well, I think one thing that is safe to say is we're going to see a huge volume of competitors coming through. Kane, we have 17 competitors here in this division. For any of these competitors to make their way into the Premier Series finals was extremely difficult. Only the top 25% of ninjas getting the invite. And now we're taking these top 17 and we're going to be whittling them down to the top 4 here, Kane, as we look at our first 11 competitors. There are some huge names in this lineup.
Yeah, 17 athletes in total in this division, only 4 with the ability to qualify for the Premier Series finals. Now, there were some who qualified at the Stanford Ninja Academy just a couple weeks back. Ryan Harsha, did Ryan qualify? No, Ryan Harsha, our first runner, was just 2 spots outside of the cut. But Christian Hart, who's running 5th, already qualified for Premier Series finals alongside some other athletes here. So in the event Christian hops into the top 4, we will be dropping down to 5th place for the next available qualifier. That way we still get 4 incredibly deserving athletes punching their ticket to the finals. It's going to be a great time. But how exactly are they going to qualify today?
Well, that's a great question, Kane. This is an extremely unique format that is very new to the Ninja Warrior scene. So today we're going to be having two courses that our competitors run. The first is the placement course, and it is what we like to call a speed course here. It's going to be testing the competitor's ability to go through the course as quickly as possible with a time limit anywhere between 45 seconds and a minute. If you fall once, your run is over. It's a very short course, very quick course, and it's going to determine the run order for the challenge course, which cannot be understated for how valuable that is. Once we make our way into the challenge course after all 17 competitors have run, this is the new and innovative format. The competitors will be able to have 2 retries across the entire course, with a maximum of 1 retry on any given obstacle. This means that the course difficulty can be ramped up because the competitors get to have a second go at each obstacle. And after 2 retries or 1 retry and then a fail on a given obstacle, their run will be over, and we will be looking, Kane, for our top 4 competitors. We have 17 on the field. This is just going to be the greatest thing that people are going to witness here. 17 competitors vying for 4 spots. So not only are you going to have to go the entire distance, but you're going to have to go extremely fast on these courses.
That's absolutely right. And of course, these athletes are nothing but the best of the best. We've taken the top 25% of athletes from each region based off of their performance in either the regular season or the World Championships. And we've also invited some athletes who get to show off their special skills here in the Premier Series qualifiers. And then, of course, as you said, the top 4 from each qualifier will advance to the Premier Series finals. A little stipulation on that. You do have to make it into the top 4. You also have to make it past the first 3 obstacles. Failure to do both at the same time will result in not qualifying for finals, even if you end up in the top 4. But again, looking at such a crazy, huge field of competitors, we have the athletes who got 5th and 6th at the Stanford Ninja Academy coming up today. Brody Messier and Ryan Harsha, they were just outside of the cut not too long ago. You know that they're back for justice here, for redemption, and I'm very excited to see how they fare against some other very strong athletes here: Macklin Cook, Liam Diggins, Alex Fedor, Ethan Alavridis, Luke Berkowitz. So many strong athletes coming up today, and this placement course is going to be very indicative of who's going to get a little extra time on the challenge course, who's going to get some time to look through everything, watch some beta from the other competitors. And I have a feeling that with such a calculated, efficient field today, that is going to matter a little more than normal. You know, sometimes we've seen people run early and still hold on to this spot in the top 4 and qualify for the finals. But again, so many of these athletes today specialize in strategy, and I'm excited to see how that pans out. And of course, none of these competitions would be possible without our sponsors, such as DGS, the top obstacle manufacturer in the world. Not only do they make some incredible obstacles partnering with some of the world's greatest obstacle designers, but we also now have the official team DGS Ninja, as DGS has been sponsoring many athletes. It started with Addie Herman, and now there's a full team of DGS sponsored athletes, some of which are competing this weekend. So be on the lookout for them. And then, of course, our ultimate timing system, NinjaWorks, which has been allowing us to use different formats, you know, be it the flow course or the challenge course, allowing retries, allowing scoring. NinjaWorks has it all. And you can find all of the results on the World Ninja League website, worldninjaleague.org, updated in real time thanks to NinjaWorks. On this stream, you may only see the top 10 on the leaderboard. So if you're looking for anyone after that, ranked 11th and beyond, NinjaWorks has the World Ninja League website hooked up. So thank you to them.
And that's absolutely right, Kane. We owe so much to those incredible long-time sponsors of the World Ninja League, who are not only responsible for developing our athletes through creating such great obstacles, but having such a robust and reliable timing system that allows us to run these streams so efficiently and effectively. And as we turn our attention back to the competitive field, you're only seeing 10 of the 17 competitors that are going to be vying for those top 4 spots. You said that we have 2 competitors who placed 5th and 6th previously at the Stanford qualifier. So they're going to have that experience, Kane, coming into this qualifier because they know what it's like to be in the Premier Series environment.
And it looks like we're getting started here with Ryan Harsha, Rockin' Ryan. Called Rockin' Ryan because he also plays quite a variety of instruments here, specializing in rock instruments very specifically, but we'll get into that a little later. We're not going to have a lot of time to talk about his extracurriculars right now with 45 seconds on the clock. Ryan is going to speed blitz this whole course. You can already feel it. Big pull back there, lots of power. Awesome job. Was first in the regular season, and he's showing why. Those cliffs he went through those cliffs the same way he went through those ladders.
Yeah, just flying through this course here. Ryan making this look so easy. 18 seconds on the clock. It looks like he's going to get in with time available up his hand. He's going for that dismount.
Wow.
Oh, going to take a second
extra
backswing. And he gets the buzzer. Okay, Ryan Harsha throwing down the gauntlet, throwing down the run that is going to need to be beat to take out that top spot. Ryan Harsha, 35 seconds, 10 seconds left on that clock there. It's crazy to think that someone can get through 6 obstacles in 35 seconds, but we're going to have our ninjas continuing to push that time. Wow, what a quick run. Like, it literally doesn't even give you much time to think in general, Kane.
Something I wanted to shout out was his technique on the wing nuts. Obviously, we've seen a lot of athletes using a static approach, but Ryan was staticking while also already kicking back as he reached. So that way he could save some time on his backswings. I thought that was a very smart approach there. Now we'll see how Macklin Cook takes on the course.
Yes, and we can see from both our competitors that urgency is the order of today. You've got to go so quickly. And as you said, Ryan was making really good work of those pullbacks. Macklin also moving through with a good deal of urgency. Is it going to be holding up to Ryan Harsha's time? It's going to be tough to tell. Taking it nice and smooth through there.
We're seeing a lot of athletes skip that second step and going straight to the first trampoline, but it actually ends up putting them at a standstill. Maybe it's a little quicker to run through it. Good match there on the ring. He's going to need one pullback, and that's all he's going to need. Macklin Cook with the buzzer, 40.4 seconds. Not as fast as Ryan, but still made it with plenty of time to spare.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with a competitive field of 17 competitors, sometimes all you really need, you don't necessarily need to be the last person running the challenge course. As long as you're kind of towards the end, you'll get the general vibe of what the beta is, what the techniques are, what the mistakes are of your previous competitors. So Macklin is definitely going to be one to watch here, and we'll see how that times holds. But yeah, back to your point, Kane, I would say on those steps and those trampolines, they are making that jump, but it does seem to be causing them to go to a very awkward standstill with not a great deal of flow there.
I would agree. Really does take out momentum. Now, Liam Diggins in his home region was ranked first.
Wow. Okay.
Got a very high power score of 1,706. Got the title of grand champion with that power score. Now let's see how Liam fares. Good speed here. Definitely one that I've got my eye on as we're coming down this stretch of this Ferox weekend. Huge dismount there. And he's going to reach right over and dismount early. No, he's going to use that extra ledge there. Now he's going to run his way through. And there we go. See, using that momentum to carry forward, I think that's a little smoother.
Wow, he's got some good length to him. His arm span is incredibly long, and he's taking full advantage of that. And if he can go through without another backswing, he might contest Ryan's time, and it's going to be close.
I think he did. I think he might have got it. 34.5. Incredible. That's going to be our new fastest time.
Liam Diggins really digging into this course here and flying through it. I'll tell you what, that wingspan is a huge advantage there for him. He took advantage of it and used his gift to his advantage there to take out that top spot. We're only 3 competitors in, Kane, and we have another 14 who are going to be vying for that top spot. I wonder how fast it's going to get.
Well, Matthew Cancro is another very fast athlete. I would not be surprised if we see another clear here. He's going to run his way through. Coming up now.
Absolutely.
We're seeing a lot of sideways approaches, whether they're using the ladder portion or the red side of it. We're seeing that same technique utilized. Good pops through the cliffs here.
Yeah,
He's
great
gonna
upper
reach over
body
to set
strength.
himself. Is he gonna dismount here? No, he's gonna take one extra swing. Still has time to clear. Might not be the fastest, but he's still moving. He's got to get going through these wing nuts, though.
Wow, it's gonna be close here, Kane. 2 obstacles, 10 seconds. It is possible. Those red lights
Come
are
on,
going.
Matthew. He's got to pull, match, and go. No, he's missed. Oh, wait, he got it. Come
1
on.
second to
It's
go.
down to the wire. No, he comes up short of the buzzer. I think he tried to rush that dismount and just landed a couple feet in front of the platform there. Knew that he had to go. Oh, man. Love the urgency there, though, out of Matt Cancro.
I mean, Matt is, the bar is so high here in this competition, in this amateur male division. We're getting disappointed for not seeing a clear, but the time limit here, Kane, is so demanding of these ninjas. So Matthew is definitely going to be one to watch. He's very clearly very strong. Getting a quick hug there from the referee. Christian Hart is one of the big names in this amateur male division.
All right, now for an athlete who's already qualified for the Premier Series finals, looking for some extra experience. It's Christian Hart out of the Grit.
Yes, the stakes are very low here for Christian. He has already qualified, so he's got nothing to prove other than just to get some more practice and show why he's not only here to win, but take out the finals in Washington later this year. Christian moving through with a great pace so far, keeping on track with some of the other top competitors here, perhaps leading the fastest
nice
time.
Match.
Great match here.
And we're going to
Kane,
get a new
it's-
fastest time here. Christian Hart with the time of
Wow.
33.9. He's looking at the time like, huh, that's it? 33?
He's like, I thought I was faster.
Right.
Christian Hart. He has such an exceptional resume that he's bringing to this competition, one that we don't even have time to read out, but we're going to explore later on in the challenge course. And he's going to be taking out our top spot. He's a favorite at the moment. It is important to remember, though, that in regards to the top 4, he won't be considered because he's already qualified. This is rather just a matter of pride for him at this point.
Still a great job from Christian. And now we're going to take it over to Frank Quinones. Really putting the pedal to the metal here. Doesn't want to waste a second. Turning sideways immediately to work his way through the ladders. Going with a bit of an uneven hand technique here. Nice match and go. He's going to have to pull back on that ring. Nice. Send it over, which he does. Coming into those cliffs now. These cliffs, not the thickest, but they are flat as well. So that does add a little extra layer of difficulty. They're at least sloped very slightly. No round part, no lip to grab. Now Frank coming down the stretch here into our final 2 obstacles with 10 seconds left, though, Jack.
It's not going to be enough, Kane, I don't think. Frank is going to get this next obstacle, but unfortunately, it doesn't look... It's just going to be...
Oh! He went for it.
Took a little bit of a tumble there. We love to see the commitment, though, from Frank. All round, an extremely smooth run, but with that 45-second time limit, you have to be near perfect if you want to get in under the time limit. Every time save must be utilized there, and Frank just maybe a few inefficiencies there that built up over time. Frank gonna put himself in the bottom position at the moment, so he may be looking to run close to first, but we still have another 11 competitors left in this division. Sean O'Shea now stepping up. In his bio, he's put raised on Taco Bell. So let's see if
Not only that, but he put that
through
as his home gym. And so it says raised on Taco Bell on stream. But Sean is coming out of the New York City Ninja Academy.
That's so good. Well, we love to see it. Sean is definitely showing us he's got the fuel, taking advantage from all those tacos from Taco Bell. And flying through this course here, 21 seconds. He's got the time to finish if he can go through these last 2 obstacles super quick.
Good movement here. Going to have to start his backswing early instead of pulling back. Cost him a little bit of time. Those little half seconds do matter. but he's gonna pop through and reach. Yes, he
So
gets it.
close.
He just needs the last pull back, and he falls short. His foot touched. He hits the buzzer, but they are going to have to mark that back on Ninja Works later on, as his back foot did hit the floor there before the finish. Oh, man.
Oh, that was so
I was really
close.
hoping
Just
the power of Taco Bell would carry him through to that.
Unfortunately, he's going to have to mix it up, maybe with some Chipotle to give him that extra fuel in the future. But we love to see it. We love to see the jokes coming through there. Sean, going to be one to watch here. He's going to put himself into a comfortable position. He won't be in last place, so he won't be running first for the challenge course. We are racing through these with 45-second time limits. We're literally powering through these competitors here. As we move on to Alex Fodder, fourth in the his season 4 standings, so someone who's definitely got a good resume behind him. Ooh,
Yeah,
a little
Alex,
bit of a rushed
I know this
urgency
guy.
there.
He's got so much power. And I think he just
No!
tried to rush it there. Very surprising. Alex, a very capable athlete. And I know he loves to go fast, so this has to be disappointing for him, but he'll get to channel all of that on the challenge course.
Yeah, he's going to be, it's pretty likely he's going to be up first. And it is clear that Alex has a lot of potential behind him, so I think he's someone who could definitely pull it back. We saw that with some great ninjas. As we move on to Brody Messier, aged 16, stepping into this amateur division. Again, demonstrating great power.
Brody has something to prove here. At Stanford, he got 5th place on the challenge course, just missing a qualifying spot. So you know he's gunning for that top 4.
Wow, the mental preparation then. He's got so much on the line here as this is his second qualifier. Ooh, he's not swinging through straight away.
Yeah.
This could be the time.
Switching to a static.
Okay, there's still 10 seconds though. He can get this finish here. That was probably eating up a little bit more time than he would have liked. But with 4 seconds on the clock, he's going to comfortably hit that buzzer and secure himself a very strong finish there. Getting some love there from Christian Hart, our top-seeded competitor here at the moment. Good run there by Brody.
Yeah, wasn't the most efficient we've seen Brody go, but a buzzer is a buzzer, and that should put him pretty high up on the leaderboard. Puts him in 5th for the time being. A great job from Brody. Can't wait to see how he does on the challenge course. Now for Jamar Marayog. Was 4th in his region's standings this past regular season. Coming out of Canada in Ontario.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I think I'm excited to see what Brody brings onto that challenge course. But yes, Jamar, an exceptional competitor as well. Oh, taking a different approach to these ladder steps.
He ditches the glasses.
Away the glass.
They probably were going to fall off. He just got rid of all his distractions there.
Wow. That is what a statement. I hope it's not throwing him out too much as he moves through these cliffhangers with good pace. He's got a bit of a sideways motion that's not helping him there, unfortunately.
I would say utilizing every ledge is probably a little too time consuming, but he still does have 10 seconds. I don't think it's going to be enough here for a clear, especially with that early dismount he tried to take and he missed it. Jumps out, 3 seconds remaining. Yeah, that's going to do it for him, but still a great try from Jamar. Made it to the final obstacle. Really tried to push it through. Went for some big moves.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the iconic glass. We get to
There
see
it is.
that. Oh, that's incredible. I think Jamar and Brody have both demonstrated like that they have so much potential. And I think once we get onto that challenge course where maybe it's not as in time intensive, they're both going to do great things. They both look like really strong competitors here. And Jamar had so much flow. As we move on to Kyle Rea, another one to watch here on this field, aged 19.
Kyle, an incredibly strong athlete, but that can be said for so many of our athletes here in the Premier Series. Kyle comes out of center court. Center court's a pretty big gym, very high up, so the heights and the size of Ferox probably not intimidating to him.
Yeah, it is always an intimidating problem when you have those more high up courses. So it's great. He's got that experience there. Moving through really quick there through that fourth obstacle as we now come into the wing nuts. 13 seconds on the clock. He's looking comfortable here. He's going to get it in, but at what time? That's the real question now.
Good pull back here. Gonna get the... Oh, needs an extra one for the dismount, and now he's down to 1 second. Looks like he's gonna get it with a little bit of time to spare. 44.5 with
breaking the buzzer
47 milliseconds remaining. Kyle Rear pushed it to the very end. Great job.
He wanted to keep us on the edge of our seats there. Taking that extra backswing, maybe he just felt like he really needed it to line it up perfectly. And I don't even know if he hit the buzzer there, but it looks like he did just tap it.
It looks like he made it. He made contact, and that's going to put him into 6th place for the time being. We still have 6 runners to go, though, so this leaderboard could absolutely shake up.
Okay, so we've got Christian out in front. He is the leader. We've had an interesting trend. We went from having a lot of people finish this course with 5 to 10 seconds left to now just being down to close finishes. So hopefully Ethan is going to be the one to turn all of this around, coming out of Windsor Ninja Academy and aged 18.
Ethan Alavridas really jumping through. We've seen some great runs out of him at the World Championship and at many regular season competitions. So it's no surprise that he's made it here. Now he's gonna have to move efficiently here on the cliffs. The more ledges you grab, the more swings you take and the more time you lose. So it's important to get out hopefully on this ledge. No, he's gonna use every single one, and he's only got 13 seconds left, Jack.
Oh yeah, this is not looking like an ideal run here for Ethan. It says he's a student pilot. Can he fly through these wing nuts and at least get these ones done? He does, but unfortunately that's where his run is going to come to a close, and that's going to put him pretty early on placed for the challenge course. Definitely probably not the result that Ethan was looking for. We know he's a super strong ninja. He was placed 3rd in the New England region for season 9, so hopefully we're going to see more of him in that challenge course as we see there the standings once again.
And there you have it, our 6 finishers so far, 5 runners remaining. Christian Hart still with a 33.9 to top off the leaderboard right now. Liam Diggins and Ryan Harsha rounding out the current podium. But anything can change right now, especially with so many strong athletes. I'm seeing some names here that I recognize that I think could absolutely dethrone Christian here, but anyone's game. Now for a name that I'm actually not familiar with here. This is Jonathan Angelilli.
Okay. Well, this is very exciting that there are names that you think can still dethrone, and Jonathan, I guess, coming under the radar a little bit here, but he looks like he's built for the sport. So let's see how he goes here. Aged 43. Going to be taking on the young guns, trying to take out their spots here.
Something very impressive about Jonathan's stats here was top 15 in the regular season standings after only doing 3 competitions. Goes to show the level of skill. And he's showing us a clinic right now. Still has about 20 seconds to go, but he's got to move quick. At least to get to the rings. I do think a buzzer is still within reach.
And just taking a little bit too long there on obstacle 4. The red lights are going here, Kane. Jonathan has the wingspan, has the strength, but does he have the time here as that clock ticks down to 0 and his run is going to come to a conclusion.
He went for it, even though the time was up. I like it.
Yeah, I hope he didn't injure himself there. Yeah, Jonathan trying to send it there. I think we're going to see a lot more of him on that challenge course. As we were saying earlier, some people's strengths are found in being really fast, and then other people like to take their time on courses.
I was about to say, it wasn't the fastest run, but it was very methodical, and I think that's going to help him out a lot on the challenge course. Now for Luke Berkowitz, an athlete who I do think could put up the fastest time. Was 6th in his region, top 20 at the World Championships.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Off
Luke
to the races
is going to be one to watch.
Luke.
Kane, I was just reading his bio. He says, I train to be beefy strong and will be coming to your local pizza shop soon.
Oh, he's a little
So-
crooked here on his swing, and that's going to eat away a lot of time. Oh,
That could cost him there.
His reach, his wingspan was so good, and it's great here again, but
Wow.
those extra backswings really cost him what I think could have been the fastest time, and a step down on the... Whoa! Yeah, no, this was not what I was expecting.
No, I think this whole run has taken us by shock here. Luke out much earlier than what he wanted to be. But if those cliffhangers are any indication, I think he's going to be a strong competitor there. Just once one mistake happens, you find it starts to have a chain reaction and start to force you to make other simple mistakes that you wouldn't typically make. So Luke not going to be placing himself in that top 10 at the moment. He's going to be on the back list. Likely running second, I would say, at this point.
Yes, and now for our third to last runner. This is Davis White. Was 9th overall in his region's regular season standings.
Yes, been in the sport for the last 4 years, so a great deal of experience here. Davis going with a sense of urgency that we haven't seen in a while, just running at a new pace. Wow,
Great
this is going to
reach
be a
over
quick
on that
run.
ring. Now he's going to pull back
He's-
and get the dismount. He is blazing through the course right now, Jack. Good
Yeah,
move up
this is
now for the static on the wing nuts. He gets
very
the pullback.
refreshing to
and
see.
the next. Coming right into this final obstacle here. Still with 13 seconds remaining. Is
Can
this
he
going to
get
be
this
the new
dismount?
fastest time? I don't know if that's the fastest time, but he's up there. 35.7. Wow.
I would say
I do
third
believe
place.
That puts him in third place. Yes, it should be behind Christian and Ryan. Or
Yeah.
was it Ryan or Liam?
No, it would
Puts
be
him in the
Liam.
top three. Puts him in the top
He's going to
three.
be in the top 3. That is, what a run there. Really taking us by surprise there after Luke's little bit of an upset run there. Davis really pulling back the momentum, and it's going to push Ryan Harsher down to 4th place. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have forgotten, we are only looking for the top 4 in the challenge course, so you can see how much this competition is going to heat up as we move on to our next competitor.
Ferris Ayub coming out of Nova Ninja. Moving
Oh, this-
straight through. Wow, look at the reach on this guy. He's moving
And the
with lock-off
strength.
as well. I was going to say, he's moving right now. Again, this is another athlete I don't believe I've seen compete. So it's great to be introduced to Ferris in this way.
Ferris going so well through this course. He has so much strength. And if he can just connect that with good flow here, it looks like he's going to finish the course. Maybe not in the fastest time we've seen here today, but Ferez is going to be one to watch.
And the dismount there.
Wow.
With the buzzer. Awesome job.
He's happy. That's good. What a run
I would
there.
be too with a run like that. I would totally be happy with a run like that.
So it's
Taking
going to
a
put
look
him
back. So
comfortably
efficient.
maybe 5th or 6th. It's hard to say at the moment, but yeah, that lock off he had on those ladder climbs, that was crazy to watch. I think that's going to be super advantageous in the challenge course.
Also, I understand that we've said this gentleman's name 2 or 3 different ways during his run.
Yes.
So if anyone has corrections on pronunciations of names, feel free to throw them in the chat. We'd love to give the athletes the credit they deserve. Now for our final runner on the placement course, this is Brian Martinez. Top 25 in the regular season standings. And Brian moving huge right now.
Yes, a great deal of urgency on this course, as all our amateur level athletes have been doing today. He is moving here. Brian setting a good pace. He finds his balance once again. 20 seconds here left on the clock, Kane. This is going to be close.
And a great pullback again. Coming into this final obstacle, are we going to end with a buzzer, Jack? We'll find
hope
out
so.
in less than 7 seconds. Needs an extra pullback. He does have the time, though. He's got a dismount, and there we have it. Brian Martinez rounding out our placement course for the amateur male division with a clear on the course.
He is just a very comfortable finish there, I would say. He really attacked that course. He had plenty of time in the bank there, and if it wasn't for that backswing at the end there, he could have been contesting the top 6 or 7 competitors there. So Brian, definitely going to be one to watch here. I think the phrase "one to watch" has been the most used phrase that we've used here today because honestly, all these competitors.
There's 9 ones to watch. If you look at the sea of green on our leaderboard, our 9 finishers on the placement course. Christian Hart taking that top time and held on to it very early on with Liam Diggins and Davis White finalizing our podium for the placement course. Now, folks, you're going to want to take the leaderboard that you see on your screen and flip it upside down. That is going to be your run order for the challenge course, which means our first runner will be Alex, who is currently off of your screen, but you can find his results on worldninjaleague.org, thanks to NinjaWorks. And Christian Hart will be running this challenge course last. It's going to be a big one here.
Yeah, Christian's going to have plenty of time to watch the rest of the competitor field struggle on this very difficult course. It is no joke. And as we were saying before, Kane, the whole competitor field is about to flip in the sense that we are now going to a long distance course. They get 2 retries on the entire course. It is a completely different format that plays into truly the strengths of the Ninja and has that world championships kind of vibe. As we look into our top 3, Christian Hart, Liam Diggins, and Davis White. Davis, of course.
There's Davis right there.
So strong. I think he really surprised us. It was such a refreshing hit after a few mistakes made by previous Ninjas. He just came through and blew everyone out of the water.
Yeah, you could tell that the pressure to go fast was really starting to get to some of the later runners. Davis kept a calm, level head and just did his thing, and it paid off for him in the end. Taking a look here at Liam's run now. Liam basically linking some close distance wing nuts, using his wingspan to his advantage here, had some big reach and some great technique, puts him in that second place spot. And then there is Christian Hart. You can see that he is already qualified for the Premier Series finals, and he is showing why with an incredible run, the only one under 34 seconds.
Yeah, no, Christian, what a competitor. And it's important to remember, he's just here for pride. He's just here to show everyone how badly he wants to take out the whole Premier Series finals at the end of this year. He's already qualified, so he's sitting dandy and happy, Kane, as we begin our search for the top 4. The challenge course going to be coming up very, very soon.
Yep, so be sure to stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back when it's time for some challenge course runs.
And it looks like that will be 11:30 a.m. for everyone listening in.
And we are back for the amateur male division's challenge course here at Ferox Ninja Park in Brooklyn, New York for the World Ninja League Premier Series qualifier. I'm Kane Casillas alongside Jack Anderson. And on the right side of your screen is just the first half of our 17 athletes taking on the challenge course. Alex Fedor will be our first runner, followed by Luke Berkowitz, who had very surprising falls on the course, but it was none other than here in Ferox where Jay Lewis had an early fall on the placement course, then proceeded to clear the challenge course and got second place at the Premier Series finals. Needless to say, Ferox is a place where anything can happen.
That is absolutely right, Kane. I think Alex and Luke both had runs that don't really represent their true potential in this competition and where they're likely to place. So I am excited to see them make a real big comeback here. They both showed great potential early on, just little mistakes. The time pressure definitely got the better of them there. And we've seen time after time in season 1 of the Premier Series finals that people have been poorly placed or made a mistake in the placement course, put it behind them, learn from their mistakes, and come through in the challenge course to take out one of those top 4 spots. Which, Kane, it's really important to bring that up for the audience here. We are only looking for our top 4 ninjas, which means we will sadly be saying goodbye to 13 in this highly competitive competition here today.
That's right. And running last on the challenge course will be Christian Hart, who had the fastest time on the placement course. He is already qualified, so should Christian jump into the top 4 today, then the last qualifying spot will be bumped down to whoever places 5th. That is just a disclaimer for all of our athletes there. That is our rules.
That is absolutely right. We want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to qualify for the finals in Washington, which is just, it's going to be crazy, Kane, just to think about what we're building up to in this competition. These qualifiers get hectic, and then in the finals, it is literally the best of the best of the best that end up qualifying and competing for that final prestigious Premier Series championship.
That's so right. And coming into this challenge course, the challenge course is one of the latest formats that's been added by the World Ninja League. It was originally made specifically for the Premier Series. Now our athletes are going to have 2 retries that they can use on the course. They have to use the retries on different obstacles. So essentially there are 3 outcomes that our athletes can face. They can either get the clear, which is what all of our athletes obviously want. They could fail the same obstacle twice, and that would end their run. Or they could use both of their retries on 2 different obstacles and fail a 3rd obstacle. That would end their run as well. So those are all the possible outcomes for our athletes here. And we've got, looks like we've got some modifications from some of the later obstacles that we've seen from the amateur female division earlier in the day. Very curious as to how they're going to adjust the time limit accordingly.
Yes. Previously, we in the amateur female division, we saw a 3-minute time limit for, I think it was 10 obstacles. We didn't quite see anyone make it through all 10 in the amateur female division. But I think with 17 competitors, it's safe to say that getting a completion here is going to be their eye on the prize. First up, we have Alex Fodder, of course, who made an early exit in the placement course, but now is going to be looking to step up and really start to set the standard for this challenge course.
Alex and I have talked a lot about different types of skills that we both like to practice, and this dude's got power. He's, a 15-foot lache, and that's
Whoa.
For one, insane. Is he the only one in the world that can do that? No. But is it still very impressive? Yes, especially considering that was a year ago or something like that. He's only gotten stronger since then.
That is crazy distances. I was just converting that into meters so I could understand it as an Australian. And yes, that would be getting close to our national record back in Australia. So that is phenomenal.
Wow. All right, well, Alex so far making very quick work. 30 seconds have passed. That trapeze has been raised a little bit, making the drop to the bowl a little bigger, but he's out of there and coming in to obstacle number 4. these fidget spinners were aligned, or were set a little differently. So this first one set traditionally, but this second transfer has a bit more of a drop down with the hold facing the very bottom. He goes for the top though to give himself extra swing, and now it looks like he's gonna go straight out for the dismount, which he does, coming out into obstacle number 5.
Yeah, looking very comfortable on those first 4 obstacles, but you have to remember it's just continuing to whittle down his energy. Okay.
Yes.
Now
we
we're
are
getting
already
into some
using
cheese
vertical limits. And wow, the spin around can be so tricky. I have a feeling this is what's going to get a lot of our athletes today.
Yes, obstacle number 5 is so daunting. Alex does have that power, but he's already had 1 attempt at this. The question is now, does he have the energy in his hands? He's shaking his head a little bit there. With a minute on the clock, he's going to have his second attempt. Is he going for a lache here?
I think he is, and I think he's going straight for that last board. He's going to stop and reset for a little bit. He's got 50 seconds. He shakes his head, probably thinking, yeah, that's not really what I should be doing. He's going for it anyways, and he got his head up there. So close. Yeah, this one's going to be tough to figure out, because if you can't fully twist yourself around with a reach like that, that obstacle is going to be a problem for you. Alex definitely gave it his best shot with 2 different approaches to that obstacle.
Yeah, he wasn't having the day that he wanted there. That is the trouble with going first, though, and that's the price you have to pay with a rough placement course. Going later into the challenge course, you get to see all the mistakes that these competitors are making, as we now move into another underrated competitor who didn't have the run in the placement course that he would have wanted.
Yeah, that's right. Luke Berkowitz. Do me a favor and read his bio for me again, because it's one of my favorite sayings now.
Luke Berkowitz. Okay. I was trying to say this in the placement course, but we had a very unexpected upset. So in his bio for the World Ninja League submission, he wrote, "I train to be beefy strong and will be coming to your local pizza shop too." That's I find that to be too funny. I love the jokes that some of these ninjas put as their bios. Some are very serious, which is usually what we expect, you know, listing their qualifications. And then some people, almost in a humble and humorous way, they like to demonstrate their personality through their bios.
That's right. And don't let it fool you. This guy, very smart. Oh no! Hand whiff there.
Oh,
he
just trying
got
to
one hand,
link.
and he was putting his second hand on what was essentially a moving target once he made contact with the fidget spinner. But Luke does have a retry here. You could tell he wasn't expecting that either.
No, and I think it was just that linking that really cost him there, and that's going to burn up one of his retries. It is the beauty of this competition, though.
You can see our athletes not going for that bottom hole on the fidget spinner. They're going for that top one. That way they don't have as much of a dramatic drop in elevation as they would. Now for this obstacle, which I've learned the name is called UFOs, but limits. So
wow,
they're UFOs, but they're not really UFOs. And now
that's
Luke taking
so
a fall.
rough.
That 180. Not only is it a tricky maneuver to do on still ledges, but now you have them swinging, and it's also just a pretty far gap in general.
Wow, not going straight back into it, not taking a break here.
Oh, nice high grab. He turns around.
And he gets it.
Now he's going to have to do it again. Or is he going for the board?
I think he's going for the board, and he gets the board. That is what we love to see. Luke Berkowitz now moving on to obstacle number 6, which is what we love to see here. They just did vertical limits, Kane, and now they've got to do more cliffhangers. This is just a finger burner.
The exact same thing, Jack. This is like an absolute crazy grip gauntlet, and he doesn't have a lot of time left either.
He did a skip there, which saved him a lot of time. And he is making this look super easy, but ladies and gentlemen watching on at home, that is no easy feat, as Luke is throwing down a great run. He's got a smile on his face. I think he knows that he's done the best that he can do on this given day, and it's a great run for being second on the board. He's exhausted now, Kane.
You know, Luke making it very far into the course. But with 15 runners to go, I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate here. Is his time going to hold up? Is that result going to hold up? We could see. I do believe that this challenge course is going to be cleared, but
I
also
do believe so
broken
as
the beta
well.
on that tricky obstacle here with this 180. You know, so we'll see. The athletes that are capable of it will likely get through that obstacle now that they've seen that it can be done by Luke.
And it is the sad reality that once you see athletes do something, it makes it mentally a lot more easier to do. And Luke really had to power through there, be the innovator for a lot of those obstacles. And now we move on to our third out of 17 competitors here.
All right, Ethan Alavridas.
It's interesting that they've changed to a ring here compared to the previous amateur females grip, which I would contest might be even more difficult. But Ethan is now flying through this beginning of this course, showing us...
Oh my goodness!
We are seeing upset after upset, Kane, here. Just unexpected falls from these top-level competitors.
Yeah, was not expecting a fall this early on the course, and I don't think he was either. Now on obstacle number 2, already down 1 retry, but flies through the air. We know that he can get this. He just has to hit his hands at the same time, which he does this time around.
Yes, he's just going to have to put that mistake behind him. Hopefully it doesn't affect him too much. Trying to find the back end of this board. Now moving his way up. Trying to get his feet on the board to make it a little bit easier.
Oh, and undershoots the jump here. So he's going to have to use the second retry here.
Yeah, that means he is out of retries now on the third obstacle. Ethan not having the run that he was probably hoping for here today. There is still the opportunity for him to bring it back with 1:30 on the clock. He's going to go a little bit higher this time to try and make sure of the jump. It's a big jump, and he gets it.
Yes, there we go. Yes, I think the difference in height, like you said, definitely made a difference. And Ethan is moving on to obstacle 4, but now he's back to standard ninja stakes where one fall is going to end it.
Yeah, no more mistakes are allowed on this course. And with 1 minute on the clock, he's going to be so pushed for time here. He's already had to go through obstacles multiple times, which is going to add to the gas and the buildup of lactic acid. Ethan now lining up this next lâcher.
He catches it but drops down. It's a little too much force for him. And that is going to do it for Ethan. Oh, man.
Yeah, you hate to see it. Such a phenomenal competitor, unfortunately just making a few early mistakes. And it really is a mental battle from there. When you make a mistake early on, it messes with you. It can throw out your competition, even if you're more than capable of completing these obstacles, which Ethan is. Unfortunately, the mental just got the better of him here today on this very difficult challenge course.
Well, now we're going to take it back to the starting line for our 4th runner. It's going to be Jonathan Angelilli. Jonathan proved to be very efficient, very methodical in his movements. A lot of moves here where you're going to have to really plan your hand placement out. So I do think that mental aspect that Jonathan brings to the course is going to shine right now.
That is absolutely right. Yeah, Jonathan, one of our older competitors here in this amateur division, but definitely one of our more seasoned competitors, showing great strength and technique as he lines up for this first lâcher, trying not to make any mistakes. And it looks like he's going to go straight for a dismount there. What a great move. Jonathan now beginning his assault on the 3rd obstacle, trying to avoid the mistakes that were previously made and not making those mistakes. This is a good pace here, Kane.
Yeah, so far, really, really well done. 35 seconds coming into the 4th obstacle. And now building up a big swing here. He could static it almost looked like, but he's going to opt for the lâcher. I think that's honestly the safer option. Now, I don't think that fidget spinners aligned the way it should be. Wow, by the fingertips. But now he's a
That looks
little
like
all over the place, swinging circular. He centers himself again. He's got to set himself up for that dismount soon. Should be good to go on this swing here, which he does, and he gets it. Now
I
for
think that
obstacle number 5, UFOs but limiters.
he almost landed into that last fidget spinner there, and I hope it hasn't shook him too much, just that impact of hitting it in a very awkward way. Jonathan, Angela Lilly now going to be going into this just brutal cliffhanger series here.
All right, now time has been ticking as he's been resting, but with vertical limits at your 5th obstacle, it is worth the rest. And it looks like Jonathan may be a little unsure of himself here.
This is such a difficult grip.
Oh no, a tap down. That's all right. The timer has frozen. Gives him a little bit of time to rethink his approach.
Yeah, this obstacle is no joke. You've really got to have all the strength within you to be able to do something like this. These vertical limits are so small, plus they're spinning, plus you have to do a 180 to make the second transfer. Jonathan just can't quite find it.
And that is going to do
happy.
it. This obstacle is going to be so tricky.
It is. It's definitely going to be the obstacle to watch here, but Jonathan showing us why he deserves to be in this amateur division. Unfortunately, not going to be enough probably to secure him a spot in the Premier Series finals here in Washington, but he can walk away super happy with that run there, and definitely something that is worth being proud of. As we continue to move through our runners, we have Jamar up next, who is another very underrated competitor, someone who came out a little bit early on the placement course, but I think he's going to be one to watch here.
Jamar was moving with so much speed that I think his body was actually out racing his mind, because there were just a couple of misgrabs that I don't think he intended to do, but I think his body was just in high gear already. So now, as the challenge course allows for our athletes to settle into a pace a little earlier on, I think we're going to see a more refined Jamar here. And it looks like he's already going for a big skip. We saw this used in the amateur female division, but now he's swinging side to side a lot. I think he was unsure on his strategy, and oh no. Gonna have to try that again.
That is definitely not where Jamar wants to be. It's hopefully he can bring it back here with his second attempt.
He's working his way down that board, popping his way across, has the dismount in front of him, eyeing it up, and he gets it. Coming now into our 3rd obstacle. This specific wall type ladder, similar to what we saw on stage 3 at the World Championships.
Yeah, really just a forearm and lock off burner here, just purely designed to sap all your strength as you move through this course.
Dunked low. Like you said earlier on in the stream, Jack.
Yes.
Jamar just was standing on that bottom ledge. You want to be up with your feet on the second ledge to give yourself a little more height.
Absolutely, and it's easy to identify that from the commentary booth, but if, in the heat of the moment, it's easy to forget those small types of things. Hopefully the later competitors are going to start learning from that mistake as they watch on eagerly. Jamar back to the regular competition format. If he falls any more times, he will be out. Taking that step up, lining it up for his second and final attempt, and he gets it. Now looking for that dismount.
All right, coming around now. These fidget spinners, no retries remaining. And these are some big throws that you're going to have to get on the first try. All of our athletes very capable of getting this, but it seems to be just outside of the distance that's comfortable for our athletes to be like, oh yeah, I could do this in my sleep. There's a little extra oomph that has to be put in this throw, and it looks like he kicked it away from himself. And Jamar's run is going to end one obstacle shorter than I expected. I fully thought he had that in the bag.
And it's important to acknowledge here, Kane, you raised a good point, is just how capable these athletes are. I think one of the huge contributing factors at the moment is the pressure of this competition. It's really a pressure cooker, bringing together 17 of the best amateur athletes in a specific area in the United States. And they're really getting pushed to their limits here. You have to remember, to even make it, to even be invited to this series is such a huge honor. So you're really just taking the best of the best and pinning them against each other for 4 spots as we now move into our next competitor.
That's right. This is Frank Quinones. Frank was moving pretty smoothly on the placement course. Sets himself very well here. Ooh, a little bit of a awkward landing there, but he's all right. Coming into obstacle number 2. Great pop
Frank
there. Is he going to go for a dismount or is he going to transfer? He's going to transfer, and now he's going to dismount. Playing it safe while still being efficient with his time. I like what I'm seeing here so far.
And speaking of time, it's important to remember there's only 3 minutes on the clock for what is maybe 10 obstacles here on this course. That is crazy fast, Kane.
Yeah, we're looking at an average of 15 seconds an obstacle, and some of these obstacles are definitely not things that you can beat in just 15 seconds.
Yeah, that is hard to wrap one's head around as to how fast they need to go here. 15 to 20 seconds per obstacle. Frank, moving through with good pace so far. It's this fidget spinner that tends to get the ninjas.
I
and
don't
he just didn't have the
what
height.
his plan was there.
Maybe he was going for the bottom one and just kind of didn't quite commit.
Well, he'll have to make his decision coming into his retry on this obstacle.
Frank lining up, second and final attempt on this obstacle, gets the first one, and he's going to
Gets the grab and peels off. He had one
I thought
hand
he had
on,
it.
and his second just couldn't match it as well. So close.
It was very close there. Frank, a great run there, and we're starting to see a wave of, I guess, people who are quite struggling on this challenge course, Kane. Typically only getting to that 3rd or 4th obstacle. It really is that pressure that is getting to them, because we know these athletes are capable of doing all these obstacles. As we now move into Matthew Cancro, can he be an athlete that can help break this cycle of early end exits from this competition?
All right, here we go. Matthew doing a great job so far, moving very efficiently. Does he want that dismount early? Yes, he does, and he gets it.
That's what we like to see here. Matthew now beginning his assault on obstacle 3, fighting tooth and nail to get up each of those ledges here. He's a bit of a taller fella, so hopefully he can use that to his advantage here on this obstacle.
Great dismount there, moving very smooth. Only 40 seconds have passed coming into obstacle number 4. Now the fidget spinners, if he gets this first try, when you boil this one down, it is a lache obstacle. This is something that can be done in a timely manner, and time is something that our athletes are going to need on this back half of the course.
Ooh,
Great
going
catch
for the
there
bottom
by Matthew.
Honestly, I quite like Matthew's approach there of going for the bottom one. It makes sense, it's logical, and maybe that'll help other athletes who have now seen that that's a viable option.
But now we come into the UFOs, but limits. Something we've only seen one athlete beat so far out of the 6 that have gone before Matthew.
It is clear to see that these UFOs are pushing these contenders to their limits here. Matthew gets his hands on the first one, but it's the rotation that matters. This is the tough point. And he's really got to commit. Oh! Is he going to be able to hold
He
it?
sticks it, almost had it. Didn't have enough twist. You know, he caught his hands on there in the right position, but his torso was still angled off. You kind of have to match your whole body to the side like that, so that way you can, you know, hold yourself steady.
I optimistically thought he had it there. He's looking so strong, and on his second attempt, can he connect? Can he pull this off? He's got the first.
Oh, and that's going to do it. A little
Mm.
peel ends the run of Matthew Cancro.
It
Man,
does.
this challenge
Matthew
course.
all around though. Yeah, but still phenomenal. Got to take our hats off to him. What a great run so far from Matthew. But yes, Kane, to your point, this challenge course is it's causing our ninjas to struggle. It's been very, very surprising. Next up, we've got Sean O'Shea, who also had a very interesting bio. Raised by Taco Bell, I believe, was his slogan.
That's right. It says raised on Taco Bell and days spent at the skate park. Sean grew up pursuing a singer-songwriter career in acting, but discovered Ninja during the pandemic. Since then has been all in on Ninja. He hosts trivia weekly and loves horror movies. Very, very
Love to
interesting
hear.
guy. Seems like a great dude to just sit down and have a chat with. If he doesn't have a nickname already, I'm dubbing him the Taco Bell Ninja.
Well, let's see if the Taco Bell man himself can step up and crush this course for us. Moving through so far, flawless to this point, good timing as well. Now let's see as he begins on the fidget spinners, an obstacle that has been causing a lot of trouble for these ninjas, despite it being something that they practice on a lot.
Well, great throw. And he catches that one as it drops as well. These moves, very grande, I would say. And there we have it.
Absolutely. Now, does he have the UFOs with cliff vertical limits attached within him? This is really a game of strength here.
He's going to have to Baja Blast off through this obstacle. And he just peels off. Oh, man.
Okay, so he's going to have one more attempt to bring this obstacle through to fruition and get through this one. Hopefully he can pull it off here. Sean O'Shea lining up for his second and final attempt. This is going to be the crux point of today, Kane. Such a difficult obstacle.
You know, it's also worth noting, Sean made it here in pretty decent time. Should be in the top 4 for now, but oh man. That is going to end his run earlier than I think Sean would have wanted. This halfway point on the course being so gruesome here, but a very smooth pace up to that point is going to put Sean in 3rd place for the time being.
Yes, Sean is happily sitting at 3rd, but Kane, we're going to play devil's advocate and probably predict that will not hold him into a top 4 spot for much longer. Luke Berkowitz, though, looking very strong at obstacle 6, still holding there, having completed 6 obstacles. As we start to ramp up the competitor quality and people who have started to finish this course. Kyle Rea, someone who is very strong in this field, and we're going to see how he goes on this challenge course.
That's right. As you said, Kyle is the first of our 9 finishers on the placement course. We know these athletes are capable of hitting buzzers, so the question is which one of them will be our first challenge course clear. Kyle, so far, 15 seconds on obstacle number 3, moving with a great sense of urgency here. Good pull power there, and that, a little low on the release there. He kind of just lunged out for it instead of really, really jumping up. He's got to get a little higher on his retry.
And that is going to throw out his momentum as well. Kyle had such good momentum on this course. Can he pull it back and continue that great run that we were just witnessing there? Just a small mistake of not going high enough there, Kane. He's going to go for attempt 2, and he gets it.
And gets out of there immediately. Doesn't want to be on that obstacle any longer. Now for those fidget moves. Great catch.
Wow, moving through very quick here. I
Is
wonder
he
which
going for
part
the
of the fidget
high or
spinner
the
he's going to
low?
go for.
He gets the high one. And he gets out of there very quickly. It's been a minute to this point, so that does put him in the top 4. I believe that puts him in 4th place just behind Sean O'Shea.
Okay, it does. But where our mind is really at now is, can he complete these UFOs? He was super quick here. He did complete the placement course. Does he have the strength to do these vertical limits?
Oh, he went for a skip. Wow, really just tried to fling himself over.
I'm not gonna lie, Kane. If he pulled that off, I think I would have just started screaming. That would have been insane if he could make that catch. But I think he's gonna go back to just doing it the traditional approach.
You know, vertical limit laches, they're not impossible, but they are extremely difficult, extremely uncommon to see, even especially in competitions, I should say. And if he had managed to catch that on a spinning ledge like that, I would have absolutely lost my mind.
Yeah, it probably... yeah, you're very much right. Trying to catch a vertical limit is something that takes many years of training, but we love to see Kyle Rea giving it a go. It just looks like he's struggling to get a grip on this vertical limit. It's just not doing him any favors there. These UFOs, it's tough, and...
You can see there he stole a glance at the clock, realized he only had about 20 seconds left, and he just went for it, and his run is officially over with that. And we see, again, this low jump on the third obstacle. Kind of tried to dunk on it, but he got it the second time around.
Well, I think a lot of these competitors now know something that they're going to be working on in the year ahead, which is going to be vertical limits, particularly on those UFOs or cheese wheels. It is something that pops up in stage 3s of many world championships, so a skill that you have to lock down and really have that strength for as we move into our 8th top-seeded competitor here, Brian Martinez. He's going to be one to watch here. He was the last person to go on the placement course, and now he's had plenty of time to rest as he gears up for this challenge course.
That's right. Brian, great move through, chalking up a little bit before coming straight into the third obstacle here. This move can be so tiring. Pulling up on ledges and then having to do more ledge work later. Wow. And again, Jack, we're seeing so many athletes jumping from that bottom ledge, and it's taking away so much elevation that they could get from their hops.
It's deceptively difficult. You know, coming into this course and looking at it from a bird's eye view, we wouldn't have expected that to be the point at which our ninjas are coming unstuck. But unfortunately, it's claiming the retries of so many of our competitors, making them sap out all their strength once again. Brian going to be resetting. Can he learn from his mistakes? Yes, he can. Just getting a bigger jump there, going higher on the board. But Kane, would you say would you expect people to fall on there typically? Would that be the spot that you expected?
You know, this obstacle, it's a move that has been around in Ninja for quite some time. So I wouldn't expect everyone to flawlessly do it. I would expect maybe 1 or 2 fails. I am surprised with how many athletes have had to use their retry on it. This cat climb, as it's been named by Zach. Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it. Maybe the height plays a factor. It gets in their heads a little bit. The trapeze has been raised from the amateur female division, so it can definitely lead to people thinking, oh, I have to go even higher or even further. But, man, I don't know.
Absolutely. Now let's turn our attention to another obstacle that I guess is obviously being a challenge point for our competitors. I don't think anyone looked at these UFO vertical limits and went, this will be easy. Brian Martinez lining up his first attempt on these UFOs. Oh, and just can't hold it.
Yeah, got one hand on, needed a second to be secure, but you have to keep it still as you're making transfers, because if it's moving, your fingers will lose grip because of the traction that it gets immediately, and you will instantly drop.
Oh, he's learning from his mistakes a little bit, but you can just see the amount of grip he has to put onto it. He's got a bit of a smile on his face now. I can't tell if he's wincing.
Oh, almost. I like that 1-2 technique. It's a very smart way to get up there quickly, give minimal movement, but looks like he just needed to catch it maybe with a little more lock off, a little higher, so that way his fingers could be more solid. But a good run overall.
That's going to conclude Brian Martinez's run. And I'll tell you what, Kane, I think this challenge course has really taken us by surprise. Obstacle 5 is the crux point for so many of these ninjas, and with only 7 competitors to go here, I believe, It's going to be interesting to see how they hold out. Looking at the standings again, we can see Luke Berkowitz optimistically holding that top position with 6 obstacles finished. If you finish obstacle 5, you will automatically be thrust into that top 2 placing at the moment. As we move on to,
someone who I know has plenty of grip strength in the tank is Brody Messier, who is our runner right now on the course. Brody got 5th place at the Stanford qualifier just a couple weeks ago. You know, after missing the qualifying spot by 1, he wants that top 4 spot. Wow, a low grab, but a huge leap up. Cat climb, not a problem for Brody, and he's not wasting any time. He knows that time is of the essence. And he links his way through the fidget spinners. He's a little crooked, but he sets himself up for the dismount, launches over, and off of time alone, that puts him in 2nd place. But of course, you know he wants to, and I know he can beat this obstacle, but he's got to turn. He gets it.
What?
Get the grab to the board, Brody. He's going to pull. Oh, no.
No.
He tried to static it, and I believe when we saw Luke beat it, he lashayed out to it. He gave it a little bit of a pop. So it's probably best he uses the spin and the swing to his advantage here. Similar to the cheese wedges that we've seen at Worlds.
If Brody can get through this obstacle, he is going to go. Can he get this dismount across?
Yes!
He gets it! And he is off.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see a competition on our hands here. Brody Messier just flying through this course. One little slip up, but he's recovered well here. And now moving through these cliff ledges. Oh, having a bit of trouble here on this small one. Uses...
Wow. He's going to go with the turnaround tech. Very smart here. Now, it's no surprise Brody's not really struggling here. He beat a longer cliff line over at Stanford, so we know he has this in the tank. He's now made it to the same spot that Luke Berkowitz has. And I believe he's done it faster than Luke, so this should put Brody in the top spot. But with 30 seconds left, how far can Brody Messier go?
Yes, that is the question here. He needed to take a rest there, I think. And now he's going to be lashing up to some cliff ledges. This is a big leap upwards.
It's a reverse catch this time. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no.
We found our new crux point.
Zach, I say this with so much love and compassion for your craft. You are an evil genius, sir. Emphasis on the evil, emphasis on the genius. There's the reverse catch by Brody. He's got to get over. And that ledge tips. That ledge tips. You have to catch it evenly or it will go angled on you and you will slip down. That's a tough one.
Wow. Brody showing us why he's one of the best in the business. I couldn't tell there whether or not he was happy or disappointed with that run, but it's safe to say he is a competitor with exceptional potential and someone who's going to be a hot contender in the years to come across all different divisions there. Brody just, wow, really taking this by storm, giving us a refreshing distance traveled in this course here.
If I had to try and interpret what his face was saying as he takes the top spot, I think he knows that he did a good job, but with 6 athletes still to go, he's not safe. And that obstacle, he knows he can beat it, which means other athletes can beat it as well. So he knows that he's anything but guaranteed a spot in finals right now, as Fares Ayub is going to be threatening that top spot right now.
Yes, Fares had a very good run on stage 1, and he showed us a great deal of strength in that placement course, as we just saw again, skipping that first grab, saving that energy, and he's got some good height behind him there. He looked very comfortable on that dismount, and he's moving with a very similar pace that we saw to Brody here.
All right, big throw over, awesome job. And another gets the dropping one.
That's always the worry point. But wow, does this young man have the strength to go the distance? If he's,
Oh, is he
if he's got the
jumping?
pinch,
Okay, no, never mind. He's gonna swing his way up. Now I don't know anything about this man's grip strength here, but
It looks
so
like he's got
far
it.
it's looking incredibly solid. And he turns around like
Wow.
nothing. He's grimacing though, Jack. He's fighting for it. He's got to get out soon.
this
Now we
dismount
saw Luke
is
catch
tough.
the corner, and he
No.
tried to catch the corner as well, but he came off. He's gonna have to try this again.
You can
have to
just see
think
how
hanging
much he
there
was
on your
hurting.
fingertips for so long can be so stressful on the body.
Every single one of those backswings makes it like significantly harder. Ferris knows he has to go
Ooh.
again. He can't take that time to rest because he's got to make it to obstacle 6 at the minimum here, and it's that pressure that's going to make this obstacle all the more difficult.
Oh, and he's
And-
struggling to make contact now and get a firm grip on that first UFO. There it is this time around. Now he's
It's
gonna
so
have
hard
to
to do
turn
this
around.
obstacle a second time.
He's fighting for it, Jack. He wants it.
Can he get this dismount?
No!
Oh, no!
Oh man, tried to static out to it. Didn't work out for him.
And
Ferris
that is
Ayub
going to
gonna
put
be-
him probably into
think that's
third
fourth.
place at the moment. Third, fourth, yeah. But
And
either
that's
way,
gonna put him in third. Yep. Third place.
he is going to be on the bubble very quickly here in this competition. Ferris is going to be... I'm going to come out and say he's going to be one to watch. Like, I think he has exceptional strength. The pinch, just probably not quite his comfort zone at the moment. And once he connects all those strengths together, he's going to be a seriously phenomenal competitor. And we'll see. Maybe he will hold on to that. But with the caliber of competitors left, it's going to be hard to hold on to these positions as we move into our last 5 competitors here.
That's right. It's worth noting that these are our top 5 athletes from the placement course, starting with Macklin Cook, who's not wasting any time. Now, it's
Wow,
also
just
worth
running into
noting
it.
that 3rd place through 9th place right now have all made it to the 5th obstacle, which is the UFO's butt limits, which means that it is going to be a bit of a race to that point for the time being, unless more than 4 people can break past that obstacle. Currently
Yes.
in 4th place is Alex Fedor with 57 seconds to that point.
And it's
5th
it's
place
also really...
also has an outside chance as well, as Christian Hart is meant to run. And if Christian Hart drops into the top 4, 5th place will still qualify. And 5th place right now is Kyle Rear.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that these last 5 competitors all absolutely blitzed the placement course. They didn't just finish. They finished with, anywhere between 8 to 12 seconds left on the time limit. So Macklin, this is really the crux point here, Kane. This is the deciding factor.
Well, Macklin has made good time to this 5th obstacle so far. I don't know if that puts him in qualifying range yet, so beating this obstacle will ensure his spot, but that turnaround just gets him. He's going to use his retry here. Still has a minute 8, so he does have some time to rest and assess, but he knows that there's so much more course left to go afterwards.
Yeah, these UFOs are so tough, and it cannot be understated. You're bringing together the top 25% of competitors, and they're all struggling on this obstacle. But Macklin having a stronger second attempt here. Can he get the dismount here, Kane?
He's got a big swing, and he catches the corner. Macklin Cook saves it. He's still got 40 seconds left as well. Looks like he's going to get that dismount, pop into the top 3. And I believe that puts him into 2nd place, just behind Brody.
That is really exciting to see here. Macklin now continuing on with the grip gauntlet as coming into those cliff ledges. It is such a big ask of these competitors after doing vertical limits.
Yeah, your fingers have to be dead at that point.
Yeah, and then you're
Macklin's
required to do
pushing
another
through
10 or so cliff ledges.
Just didn't get that drop. You could tell he was trying to move quickly, saw how much time he had, and the speed killed on the cliff line there. But still an awesome job from Macklin, currently sitting on the podium with a qualifying spot. That's actually going to put him in third. That's right. That's going to put him in third, behind Brody and Luke, who cleared the cliff line.
Well, who knows? At this point, there are only 4 competitors left, with our final seeded competitor not actually counting towards the top 4 because he's already qualified. So there are 3 competitors who are looking to take out the last 3 spots. But that means Brody, I believe, is safe.
Brody, I do believe so. Now, Brody got 5th at Stanford. Now we're going to the athlete who got 6th at Stanford. It's going to be Ryan Harsha. So we know that both Brody and Ryan want their redemption here. They want to make it to the finals.
And it's worth noting that Ryan is crazy good.
Yes, very.
Ryan was first on the placement course. He ran first, which means he set one of the top times despite not seeing anyone else take on that course. So big kudos to Ryan for doing that. Hopefully a sign of really good things to come here. Our 4th top-seeded competitor in this challenge course, Ryan, going to be attacking this with the urgency that we saw him apply in the placement course.
And there's a quick underbar out of the second obstacle. He's going to quickly turn around and work his way up the cat climb now.
Yeah, he's really going for pace. He wants to get to that 5th obstacle as quickly as possible because he knows that just in case he can't complete it, if he's the quickest there, it might still be a saving grace there for him. But I think his eyes are set on the
solid
top prize.
length.
Wow.
And a huge dismount. Ryan Harsha showing a lot of power, which for those who are familiar with his game know that that's nothing new. But now it's going to be a test of grip here. I do believe he's cracked into that top 4 based off of time, and I don't think it's frankly that close. I believe he's going to be in 4th place right now. If he clears, then we've got a real shot at making the finals. Here's the turnaround. He's locked off here, Jack. Oh my goodness. And you could see he put his hands to his head, kind of in disbelief that he failed that. That was probably the most solid grip we've seen on one of those ledges.
It was, but it looked like his body was angled weird in that rotation, and I think his momentum just went the wrong way. He's going to take a moment to reset. You have to remember, coming into this a second time makes it significantly harder to pull off. And he's struggling to get that grip now. Ryan Harsha on the bubble at the moment. There's so much on the line for this young man.
And a nice grab here. Now
he's got
again locked off. Crazy strength out of Ryan. Now you were right. He swung a little forward and he did it again and got one hand on top of the other, and Ryan Harsha's run is going to end very shockingly early. But with a time of like 35 seconds to that obstacle, he is going to land in 4th place right now.
Yeah, I don't think that's where he wanted to come out. And with a handful of really good competitors left, that's going to put him on the bubble, Kane. Oh, Ryan just coming unstuck there, not in the... Just a young man with so much potential, and hopefully we're going to see him through to that top 4 and hold his spot. But, Kane, we have 2 more really strong competitors who can take that spot from him. We've got Davis White up next.
That's right. Now, it's worth noting, I mentioned if an athlete gets 5th, they might still be able to qualify. That's only if Christian Hart is in the top 4, which means if Davis here can crack into that top 4, then Ryan Harsha will be knocked out of contention for qualifying, as there will already be 4 non-qualified athletes ahead of him. As you said before, though, Brody for sure locked in to the Premier Series finals with a great run there. And also confirmed now is Luke Berkowitz. With only 2 runners, the worst he can do, 2 non-qualified runners to go, the worst he can do is 4th out of that group. So he will be advancing to the finals as well. Great job after only running 2nd on the challenge course.
Wow. That is, it's proof is in the pudding there. You can run early in the challenge course and still pull out a great result. as we gear up for Davis White here. Davis started doing ninja roughly 4 years ago and has been training with his two brothers and sister ever since. So a big family bond that has been created through the sport of ninja. He placed 4th at the Barbados Ninja Throwdown in 2023. So he's got a pretty good resume behind him here. And now stepping up to this challenge course, moving with that urgency that we're starting to see these last competitors really attack the course with. Davis looking for that top 4 spot, and he gets, my heart sinks every single time someone goes for that leap, Kane, but Davis making it look nice and easy there.
Well, so far, super clean moves here. Thought he was going to link that fidget spinner, but opted not to. Now, at the World Championships, Davis placed 31st, but through the strongest ninja bracket, he was able to attempt stage 3 and had the 8th best result on stage 3. So his grip should benefit him here.
Whoa.
And we're seeing it in spades right now.
Looks like he's holding on to rings or something. He's making it look so easy.
Obstacle.
Oh, that is crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, wow.
Davis.
Okay, so there we go. Davis White quickly into the top 3. Puts Macklin Cook on the bubble in 4th place. Now again, let's see that stage 3 strength on display here.
Yeah, that is also going to push Ryan Harsher out of this qualifier, but hopefully he will find his way to one of our qualifiers later on this season. But turning our attention back to Davis, Kane, my mind is blown at how good this young man is with the pinch strength, with the cliffs, with the vertical
Early
limits.
dismount too.
That was crazy. Can
Waves
he go
away
furthest?
the chalk. Jack, he just shooed the chalk away like, I'm good. And he's going to do
If he
this
can get
reverse
this-
grab without chalk. I mean, he's probably got some stuff on his hands, but still.
He's got that length behind him. If he can get this...
Oh! Went
just
a
missing
little
it.
too far back. You could tell that he was trying to reach his hands out, but the rest of his body just wasn't there to catch up with him. So now he's
Well,
going to
if
chalk
he
up,
can-
give it another shot.
Kane, if he can complete this obstacle, he'll be in 1st place. Now lining up Davis White. He's got a big swing behind him as he gears up and he holds.
Gets a high grab.
Now looking for the next grab. It twists.
The tipping, the tip and twist and ledge takes him down, and that's going to end his run. But I believe
What a
his
run,
time
man.
puts him in a great spot. In fact, his time puts him in 1st, just 5 seconds ahead of Brody. So we will be seeing Davis White at the Premier Series Finals.
Yeah, not only will we be seeing him there, but he's going to be one of the top amateur competitors there in Washington. So it's going to be very exciting to see him take on the course. And that pinch strength he displayed across all the different cliffhangers and on those UFO vertical limits is that is scary. That is a scary prospect for all the other competitors out there who know that they could be coming toe-to-toe with him in the finals later this year. Davis White, uncontested, in 1st place at the moment. But, Kane, there is still 2 more very phenomenal competitors left.
That's right, and this is the run that will determine our 4th finalist of the qualifier. Macklin Cook currently on the bubble, but Liam Diggins could dethrone Macklin right now.
Liam threw down the 2nd fastest time of the day, and just really, really smooth, so strong. What a ninja Liam Diggins is, as he now digs himself into this challenge course and begins his assault on the 3rd obstacle, not wasting any time. I think his mind's not only on securing a top 4 spot, but also securing a win here at this qualifier.
That makes sense. I would love to see more obstacles explored on this challenge course. Would love to see a buzzer. And Liam has linked his way through. Now, it's worth noting the time to beat for the top 4 is Macklin Cook's 1 minute 50 through this very obstacle, which means Liam still has about 45 seconds to do that.
Liam is looking so comfortable up on the...
Oh, it's
What?
over, dude. Liam Diggins will be going to the
What?
Premier Series Finals, and he's just strolling his way over to the cliff line as if he didn't just do that like nothing.
These last few ninjas are literally just making it look like a children's playground. That is bonkers how easy he made that look. Liam showing us why he's one of the best in the world for the amateur division. Can Liam not only, now he's got his top 4 spot, but Kane, could he contest that winning position here?
I definitely think he could. He still has a minute left on the clock. I actually believe that puts him as the fastest time to this point, so that does put him in first place right now. But
He was
of course,
very quick.
we've seen very close attempts on this obstacle. The question now is, will Liam be the first to break through on that twisting ledge? First, he's got to get that reverse grab.
Yes, this ultimate reverse is so hard, but Liam holds on, and now he's going to go for the twisting dismount. This is a part we haven't seen any of the ninjas connect on. Liam holds it and gets the touch point.
No touch point yet there.
Oh,
He's still working his way down the whole lane. He's standing on a bar, and he gets out of there. Now he's on to obstacle number 8, the only athlete to do so. Quickly through this balance portion here. Has 10 seconds to go. Coming on to our second to last obstacle. Looks like we got some bar tech here. Up the salmon ladder. Has to work his way across.
He must be so tired at this point.
Tries to send it. Almost had it.
Wow.
Oh, no. So close,
Liam
but
Diggins.
Diggins showing that
What a
done.
run.
Absolutely one to watch out for coming into the finals. That's going to put him in first place by a significant amount for the time being. Oh my goodness.
What did we just witness? Ladies and gentlemen, Liam Diggins. That could be the run of the night. We've still got one final competitor, but Liam, regardless, is going to be one to watch in Washington later this year. He is phenomenal. That is undeniable. And if he just had a little bit more time, a little bit more energy behind him, he would have finished that extremely difficult course where he only had 2.5 minutes, Kane. We thought that this might not even be possible after we did the math.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's worth noting I misspoke. That bar tech obstacle is the last obstacle. That balance obstacle is split into 2 parts. So he got 2 obstacles really quick there before running out of time. So he will sit in first place with 9 obstacles cleared out of 10. And Christian Hart will be the only athlete remaining who could take that top spot from Liam. Christian got 3rd at the Stanford Ninja Academy qualifier. Already punched his ticket to the Premier Series finals. So we have our top 4 who will be advancing to finals. It is Liam Diggins, Davis White, Brody Messier, and Luke Berkowitz. Now, Christian's going to take his run for some pride, for some glory, and to send a message to his competition that he is not one to be messed with.
That is absolutely right, Kane. Couldn't have said it better myself. Christian Hart, our top-seeded competitor here in this challenge course, and he's showing us why, moving with the efficiency that we just saw from Liam Diggins. Now looking for that dismount here, getting the chalk on really quick here as he's going to line up these UFO cliffhangers. This is going to be so close to decide whether or not Christian or Liam is going to be our winner here today.
Christian has so many accolades under his belt for WNL. Won regionals this past season in the young adult division, was on the all ninja team, all group team, and had the most amount of points of the season out of all athletes in his division. He's a 2-time champion of the Barbados Ninja Throwdown in different divisions and won sickest save of the season back in 2020.
What a resume this young man is bringing to the competition. 1:10 on the clock, moving with a similar pace that we've seen to other competitors. Christian has now seen multiple competitors go through this extremely complex obstacle. He's got the reverse grab first, followed by a transfer onto a spinning cliff ledge. Does Christian have the energy to pull this one off?
Well, Christian knows that he has to beat this obstacle if he wants to win. Peels off on the reverse grab. A little bit of a surprise there. Came at it
That's
too
okay,
low.
though. He hasn't
Very
lost
low.
too much time or energy from that. He's going to reset here. 40 seconds on the clock. His second and final attempt on this obstacle. Christian holds
Makes
on.
it. Now for this transfer to the tipping ledge. He holds on and he peels off, and that's going to do it. That's
Liam
gonna do it.
Diggins is going to be our
man.
champion here today, Kane.
What an incredibly surprising result there. Thought Christian Hart had that in the bag. It was such a smooth and clean run, and just came off of that turning cliff that is going to put him into second place overall behind Liam based off of time. About 13 seconds faster than Davis to this obstacle here. You can see just how quickly he was trying to get off of that reverse catch there too. Still a great run from Christian Hart, but that is going to officially wrap our amateur male division. Liam Diggins taking the top spot, being the only athlete to advance to the final obstacle. Christian Hart rounding out, being our second place athlete here, taking 2 podiums across 2 Premier Series qualifiers. Rounding out our podium is Davis White, and also qualifying for the Premier Series finals are Brody Messier, who gets his redemption, and Luke Berkowitz, who ran very early on the challenge course.
All of these athletes have done so well, and to think we started out with 17 amateur athletes, we now have our top 4 who will be traveling to Washington later this year to compete in the finals. And if you guys thought this was entertaining, well, by the time it rocks around to the finals, you will be seeing the top 32 competitors across the world all coming together to compete for all-out Premier Series glory. And Kane, as we look at the standings one more time, we can see our top 3 competitors here: Liam Diggins, Christian Hart, and Davis White. All competitors that are going to be ones to watch in the finals later this year.
Taking a look again at Davis's run. Davis wasn't someone that I had really known about prior, but he's definitely made his name known to those who were unfamiliar with his skill set here. Absolutely demolished all of these upper body intensive obstacles. And it just came down to that tipping cliff ledge. It's such a dramatic drop, as well as an unstable platform to hold on to.
Yeah, he has made a name for himself, and that is the beauty of this competition. It gives the ninjas an opportunity to show others why they're the best in the world. Christian Hart, the favorite for today, unfortunately just coming unstuck on that 7th obstacle. We can see that he moves so smoothly through these obstacles so far, and now, yeah, no troubles there on the UFO, no troubles on the cliff ledge. But unfortunately, it was this obstacle here, this reverse grab, that really got the better of him and got the better of so many ninjas.
Yeah, and then we take it over to our top seeded athlete after the challenge course. It is Liam Diggins, who honestly made everything just look effortless. And you could tell that he still had enough gas in the tank left as he made it to the final obstacle, just not enough time. Only had about 10 seconds left. But he was just, look at the static on that. That's crazy. The wingspan and the grip strength coming together for a recipe for perfection out of Liam Diggins. Great catch there as well. No retries utilized as well. He got everything first try.
It is safe to say that Liam is seriously going to be one of the top contenders in this finals later this year. That was one of the most impressive runs I've seen in a while. To go as far as he did relative to all these other phenomenal competitors who struggled and just make everything look so easy. Liam is such an awesome competitor.
All right. Well, with that, we are all wrapped on our amateur division. Be sure to tune in at around 1 p.m. Eastern time for the teen female division, shortly followed by the teen male division at 2:45 p.m. Eastern. And then at 5 Eastern will be the elites, starting with the elite female division, and the elite male division following up at 6:15 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be an absolute banger of a home stretch here with our final 4 divisions coming up. And then, of course, the action will continue in the Premier Series as we have our our next set of qualifiers. So many coming up here. We'll be in the Lone Star State, nothing bigger than a Texas comp as Austin Ninjas hosts its next qualifier next week. And then we take it over to Australia for a big event at the Compound. The Compound's hosted the Australian Championships for the last 2 years now. They've done amazing, so I can't wait to see what they do. Then we take it over to Colorado for Arc Ninja's first WNL competition, kicking it off September 7th and 8th. Life Force Ninja will be hosting a qualifier before they host the finals on September 21st and 22nd, followed by a trip to Europe at True Function Ninja Training Ground. Then we take it back stateside for the SoFlo Ninja Academy, October 12th and 13th, and our final qualifier will be at Modus Ninjas, October 19th to 20th. Jack, you've been saying top 32 per division. It's actually with 10 qualifiers, the top 40. The top 40 per division.
Even better.
November 15th to 17th at Life Force Ninja in Bellingham, Washington for the Premier Series Finals. You guys are not going to want to miss seeing who gets the final 16 spots up for grabs in these final 4 divisions this weekend. So be sure to tune in a little later. We'll see you guys very soon.